Now turn to section 2. Section 2. You will hear the head of human resources at a clothing manufacturer talking to a group of students starting work experience with the company. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 14. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 14.
Good morning, all of you, and welcome to Mentona Fashion. I'm Martin Henderson, the head of Human Resources, and I'm very pleased you've chosen to spend your month of work experience with us. I'm sure it'll help you with your business studies course at college. First, I'll give you a brief introduction to the company. A little bit of history. Mentona Fashion dates back to 1935, although its founder had started a similar business in 1927, which only lasted a few years. After years in South Wales, we moved to our current premises in 1996 and started on a period of expansion. We've always manufactured clothing, though with some changes of emphasis over the years. Initially, we made only women's clothing, and that still accounts for well over half of our turnover, although there's a growing interest in our leisure wear, a category that we started 2 years ago. Hopefully, that'll be more successful than the range of protective clothing for factory workers we started 10 years ago, but had to drop 18 months later. Our largest market has always been the UK, but we're exporting more and more. Last year, exports to the rest of Europe generated nearly 20% of our income, slightly up on the previous year, while the most promising results came from Asia. Although it produced only 7% of turnover, it showed the biggest increase on the previous year. In terms of our plans, a lot depends on our new chief executive, Sophie Crawford. She'll be replacing Jim Harvey, who's retiring in April, but unfortunately she can't take over straight away as she's committed to staying with her current company until the end of June. She'll join us in the first week of July. She's already made it clear that she has big ideas for our future.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
Okay, now a few practical matters that will affect you. Most important of all, you'll each be assigned a buddy, someone who'll look after you while you're with us. There'll be someone in the first department that you work in, but even when you change departments, they'll still support you. I don't know how you've come here today, but you're welcome to join our scheme to share cars with other members of staff. If you're interested, give your name and address to my colleague Marcia, and she'll try and put you in touch with a staff member who lives near you. We have very few parking spaces, so I'm afraid we can only give permits to permanent staff. If you come to work by bike, you'll be pleased to know there are showers beside the gym. The gym itself is closed as it's being refurbished at the moment, and this also applies to the indoor tennis courts, but the outdoor ones aren't affected. As well as our rather limited sports facilities, we have a staff association that organises social events, and you'll be very welcome to join in without paying the normal membership fee. This coming Friday evening, there's a dance with music by a local band who play a wide range of music. You don't need to book, and you can bring friends as well if you like. On Saturday week, there's a full day trip to the National Space Centre. Full day trip to the National Space Centre, and there are still a number of places left on the coach. We've arranged lunch in the cafe there, and that's included in the price. On the 17th, there's another coach trip because our football team is playing against another company's team 20 miles away. If you want to drive there, I'll give you details of where to go. But if you want to go on the coach, you'll need to put your name on the waiting list as all the seats have already been reserved.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.